broadcasters for the first game of the grand finals.
Man, it is such a high-stakes matchup with two brutal competitors. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the defending champions of MSC, those who lifted the trophy that you see on stage just last year, up against a team who's been waiting all these years to compete, to contend, and to find redemption for themselves.
Now, straight into the game, we're already seeing that the compositions are starting to come online, right? They want to make sure that this mid-prio is held within their grasp. And it's important, so important for both of these teams to maintain this momentum, to kick things off, to start off with a fresh impression in game number one.
SRG, we've been talking about mid-prio a whole lot on the group stages, just in this tournament, how important it is to get yourself prio, tempo around the map. And that's what the Grok does. We haven't seen this pick in a while, but it's so good at clearing waves, and you can see it here. JAYPEE and SANJII are always just shoved into their own turret.
Absolutely, and I think Gatot and as well as Grok kind of do the exact same thing, right? They want to make this mid lane 2-for-2 fight to be obsolete, but we were actually talking about this in the back, right? It's not just about them. The EXP has been such a large proponent of MSC so far, right? Based on the emblems that we're looking at so far, nothing too out of the ordinary, other than the Grok, of course, but he's taking Wilderness Blessing, allowing himself to rotate a little bit faster just in case JAYPEE is able to quickly jump into the fight with the AOG.
Yeah, this is also a pick, technically, that we have really seen Innocent pop off on. It's funny how we didn't really get to see the Bruno on Innocent at M6 when it was broken. Here, we finally see that it's actually kind of like a final piece of the puzzle for SRG. Beating Onyx Philippines and now securing the XP Crab. This is a big fight for Turtle One. Both teams want to play with the snowball early, and it really starts here. Could be make or break for both.
Let's see how they skill check each other. I think this is the most important part for either side, right? This first Turtle, we've seen a lot of teams snowball out of control when they make that first mistake, and it looks like so far for STORMIE, he's shoved in. He's going to be a little bit late to the fight, but level 4 achieved at least.
SANFORD level 4. Look at the damage from Yums already. No regen, it seems, for SANFORD. He's going to have to hold it. Great reset. No. The Turtle's still within the vicinity. Skies walks up with a heavy spin as well. Now it's going to dive over for SANFORD. Still able to flicker out though, and STORMIE does the same. Heavy spin, put him in a great position, even with the Brave Smite. It'll be a kill over to SRG with the Turtle take 2.
Beautiful fight coming in from SRG's side. The setup was interesting, right? He uses the Nature's Barrier. We thought that maybe he was looking for the reset. They don't find the reset, but it also works as a piece of terrains that Skies can use that heavy spin to guarantee some form of stuns. It's great that Yums also hit level 4 on time to get a wild charge to extend the lead, because SANFORD was already so far.
It was really just tough. SANFORD was chunked in at the start, and you gotta give credit to Yums, to KRAMM for doing that. He started the fight at half HP. The Turtle was put in a tough spot, and he technically just had to dive on STORMIE with a quarter of HP left by that time.
And that's exactly how SRG need to play this, right? They are looking not only for opportunities, but to shorten the trigger finger of Team Liquid, because they've been so good. Liquid, when they stampede, it all starts with, hey, do we have tempo on our side? And that's been the largest problem we've seen from a lot of teams. Can we wrestle away that control? Can we get the timings on our side? Ooh, JP's got some vision, though.
It's going to be a bit of poke over to Innocent, but it's actually going to lose out in the trade. Innocent, doing a whole lot. Oh, locking him down as well. AOG force out, but Karl is left all alone. Sacrifice to SRG. And a gold crab for Innocent.
A beautiful Nature's Barrier coming in from Yums. Admittedly, we haven't seen this Grok in a long time, and yes, it was shown during the wild cards, but played at the highest level, especially when the stakes are so high, it can be risky. For now, it's looking good for the side of SRG, but Team Liquid, they're not completely out of the water just yet. With Karl's very first death, it means that the rest of the team needs to compensate.
For SRG, everything's going to plan. Again, they've built a composition to really just secure these neutral objectives, and that's why it was paramount for them to get the first Turtle. Now, it does seem like it's smooth sailing. KRAMM is in a comfortable spot. They have the crazy CC to deny KARLTZY of the crazy red tree steals we've seen from him throughout the tournament.
Speaking of crazy red tree steals, this might be one of those opportunities.
Ooh. Oh man, wild charge and the heavy spin coming down as well, but the curtain call locks him down, and the back line is going to be SANFORD looking for play, but STORMIE is able to fly away. Karl locked in, has the AOG to help him out, and the egg does actually get away with OHEB dealing damage, gets one. Innocent still free, hitting in the back now as that's the Lantern Flare, bringing him back, but SANJII's left all alone, and Innocent claims the double.
Oh my goodness, what a close fight. And it's not over yet. SANFORD's in trouble. Innocent's got him under the turret.
SANFORD, kind of the tough spot, does not have the bravest spider, but with the help of OHEB, gets to clear the wave and gets to stop SRG at capitalizing with the lead that they have.
Okay, they can breathe for just a second. Honestly, Team Liquid, they've got a really good moment, right? SANFORD was able to not only cancel out the Feather Airstrike really early, they get the Battle Spell out of STORMIE, but more importantly, they shove him so far underneath the turret, they lost the majority of their damage, but the longer this fight goes, Innocent, his crits are so important.
Oh, the Feather Airstrike again over to SANJII. Oh, KARLTZY finding an angle to take the turtle, but they'll still lose 2 on the board. So it ends up still being worth it. Yes, Team Liquid don't lose as much as you would expect, but SRG are capitalizing on this man advantage too, going straight for the tier 1 in the mid lane, and there is nothing SANJII can do.
That's an instant response from the side of SRG. Despite KARLTZY's first death, he has evened out the score. OHEB, please, do not die here.
Oh, Innocent cutting him off as well, but he does take a few turret shots. No BMI, that's going to be the Purify to get him a bit more movement speed. Innocent with a solo kill up top against the Filipino sniper.
That's a solo bolo there, and now dropping the ult to make sure that JP gets chunked out to half. Let's pull up the item list real quick here. I'm curious to see, where is Innocent alongside his build? No, he goes straight away for the Haskell. He knows that he wants to be part of this fight, sure, but if they drag it longer and longer, the sustain is so important. When he gets that Berserker's Fury, that's when he's got the gun in hand.
Dude, when SRG are behind, people are still saying, yo, Innocent, man, Innocent. So when they're ahead like this, half the lead for SRG, 2,700, half of that is on Innocent. The man you really want to have gold at any time. And the fact that Team Liquid, with this composition, technically don't really have an answer against them, makes it all the more scary. Feathered Airstrike already dropped down. SANFORD getting the stun, but KRAMM is still very healthy, has the Vengeance too, is able to flicker out towards the heavy spin, but will be pinned down in the end, and SKYSS gets yet another kill to put SRG 8-1.
But what's Liquid's response here? They see everything that has happened on that bottom side. They saw the initial engagement. They know they don't have that heavy spin, so they push out that mid side. They're trying to get OHEB as quickly as possible to get into that Trinity as KARLTZY protects the structure down bottom. Now T1 mid is open, which is allowing SRG to have some very convenient rotations on their side. It doesn't mean that Team Liquid is completely out, because look at the lead. Despite everything that has happened, 8-1, only a 2.5 to 2.4k lead, which is not much.
Nope, which is weird. With 8 kills and those crits landing. All right, now we feel that lead. It's KRAMM in bottom lane, brought back again. It should be a kill over. With a Vengeance, not much you can do, but just take damage. So it's a good start to the turtle fight for Team Liquid here. For the airstrike, though, might be a trade. SANFORD able to dodge away. What? Flicker from STORMIE. They're trying to go for the chase, and now that's big info. SKYSS walking up again. KARLTZY looking for an angle as SANJII jumps in deep. Heavy spin coming down as SANFORD walks up, but it's still going to be SKYSS who wins it out. Innocent with the dive in the back. SANFORD walking in, and SKYSS is able to peel. Innocent still free hitting. KARLTZY finding the taunt now. Can he get the damage down? With the help of the Blazing Duet, he can. A massive shutdown with the Appraiser's Wrath. OHEB still taken out by STORMIE. SKYSS is right there. The GOAT fighting against 3. SKYSS walks away, dodges away from a possible stun. No! Carl, he wanted to fight all the way to the end. He did, but he couldn't get a trade.
Okay, a moment to breathe. SEKYSSS utilizing the Akai very, very well. That passive shield is saving his life. Let's look at the replay one more time, because off of this, we noticed immediately, STORMIE, no flicker, no feathered airstrike. This was such a winning scenario for the side of Team Liquid. And as they continue to press their advantage, it's just target prioritization from SRG, despite all of the chaos. Can you see JP get chunked down first, and then turning their attention to OHEB?
Did you see Innocent in that fight, dude? He was chain CC'd. You saw SANJII straight up go for the Crimson Beacon, lifted him up. It was a combo with JP. But the flicker came in first up top. Live cam view. OHEB ganked. Everything used, even the Vengeance. Everything except the heavy spin and the worldie. But that's a whole lot.
It is a whole lot. The tempo is affected as SEKYSSS makes another play.
That's the heavy spin. The AOG to cut him off there to try to stop KARLTZY from getting picked off. Good taunt to get the reset on the second skill, dashing back to safety. And SRG, 14-3. They're looking very healthy coming into Lord timers.
And now without the heavy spin, as well as the wild charge, they don't have much of a setup. Unless Team Liquid make a significant mistake, they would rather stay healthy, stay alive, to try and buy time for OHEB to get to the point where he can actually fight. And that's when he has that Trinity build, right? The big issue that he's facing right now is that every single time he walks up, there's a problem of, am I going to get hit by the heavy spin? Oh, wait.
go, man. Well, look at the peel there. JAYPEE with the conceal finds it. OHEB gets the blazing wet take. Now KARLTZY brought back all the way. Curtain call by KRAMM to take the goat down. JAYPEE, they know he has no AOG. He's going to have to go with Unbreakable. AOG came back right in time. Baits out the flicker as well. Yum's caught in the bad spot. He's going to be the Purify out of the wild charges. KRAMM goes over to chase, but now SANFORD walks over the bravest fighter. He's looking for the stun. Will be able to find it, but it's going to be the power from Yums with the CC immunity as the Lantern Flare comes in again for SANJII, and they peel back.
Look at these low kick checks from both sides. Every single time a play is made, there must be an instant response. They will not get disrespected if they want to make sure that this 1.7k lead doesn't turn back into that 2.5, doesn't get a ×2 multiplier on it, despite the kill score, which again, very deceiving.
It really is. 15-4, we saw a glimpse of what that lead could do with Innocent doing this much. 52,000 damage dealt, leading the charge with STORMIE and KRAMM, and then we start seeing Team Liquid. But OHEB is slowly but surely scaling. Karl on it already. SANFORD with a dash back again. Sky's holding on to it. KARLTZY doesn't want this to be a reset, but KRAMM's coming in again, shredding him down. Appraiser's Wrath coming out as well with a sustain, and it is going to be a kill back. Sky with Retribution, win a SANFORD, going to be pinned down again. It's Innocent, just gets a free hit, but in the back line, the Blazing Duet is doing a whole lot of damage over towards Yums, who's so tanky, and gets away in the end. SANJII forced to use the Crimson Beacon.
That's got to be heartbreaking. Team Liquid fans are looking in disbelief. How does he survive that? He flickers out of there at the very end. The fact that he held on with Power of Nature alone, could have chunked out more targets, just wasn't enough. But look at the Emperor's Eye, the zone from Team Liquid, as well as SRG OG Esports, right? They know exactly what they're doing. First, secure the Lord. Next thing, you see Skies quickly jump onto Lapu's side to ensure that STORMIE has a better time. All of this just using a small margin of their lead in terms of items to stay alive.
Hey, KRAMM walks up a bit too aggressively, wild charge, but JAYPEE gets away.
Is there a heavy spin angle here? No. Looks like Sakai's not going to take it this time. They're walking with the Lord at the very least. If they can take an inhibitor, that'd be great.
No wild charge. They still have the heavy spin, but they got to be careful because they need to peel for Innocent and STORMIE. So no base turrets taken down here for SRG. And I think it's a smart move. They lost KRAMM. There's no reason for them to push in forward. They still have a 4,000 gold lead. Yes, there's that risk of OHEB scaling up to becoming a monster. But it could be even worse if you just dove in there to give shutdown. So yeah, gold lead's still roughly the same between the gold laners. It's a 1,000 diff for Mr. Innocent. But we're getting closer and closer to OHEB being a real problem.
And he's already got 3 items on top of the Winds of Nature. He's in a phenomenal position. The same can be said about Innocent, if not better with the Malefic Gun. But then we start looking at everybody else. The anti-heals are finally in for the side of Team Liquid. We got 2 Dom Ices that they can work with. Jushin also with the Sky Piercer, but STORMIE going for the full damage build. Genius Wand into Glowing Wand, which is why they've been so decisive in these fights.
So no stacks on the Sky Piercer yet for SANJII, yeah?
Why Hunter Strike this time for the side of KRAMM?
He just needs he wants to deal more damage. He knows for Team Liquid right now, they have so much sustain. That's what they've been playing with, right? Even with SANJII, just playing around with the Brave Smite, coming around with the Blood Wings. It really comes down to TL wanting to go for a bit longer fights, waiting for the cycle of abilities to be used up by SRG.
I would have imagined that if he wanted to greed out, he might even go for Queen's Wings, or at the very least, may even take a more tankier approach to the scenario. I mean, considering that his role is to not only sustain, but slowly poke out his opponents, right? He's already got the Brute Force Breastplate, he's already got the War Axe, he's got more than enough damage to kite against his opponents, but his big issue is dealing with Jushin specifically. If his yo-yos are hitting the wrong targets, well, guess what? Jushin can either peel him away, or forcefully just wait for him to leap and cancel it out.
So it's back to a setup game. SRG doing a good job at manipulating the waves, playing for the neutral objectives. And Team Liquid, it really just seems like all of their fights have been brute forcing a way to maybe gambling out of this massive win for SRG. Because again, it's so difficult. You kind of have to take the gamble every time you fight for the Lord. There's no way you get a proper 50-50. It's an Akai and a Grok to stop you from retreating.
Yeah, I mean, KARLTZY, despite everything, is still maintaining level 15 to level 15, right? It's a 50-50 retry battle, more in favor to SRG. But let's see how Liquid plays this out, right? This 3.1k is actually not as big of a lead, especially since they've already passed the 42k mark.
Good damage over to OHEB there. KARLTZY coming with the taunt. The heavy spin comes around, but SANFORD dies in the back with the Brave of Spider. Again, gonna be cancelled out by SKYSSS. It's a shot down. SKYSSS wins a retreat battle. It's a blazing duet, but KRAMM is able to stop him from happening. AOG defensively. KRAMM looking for the chase. Yums right there too. SANJII pop the Crimson Beacon. STORMIE flies by, but SRG no. They've gotten the win already. They've gotten the Lord KRAMM. It's gotta be careful. They don't want a repeat of what happened earlier.
Yeah, I mean, if he wants to sustain, there's a wave coming up top side, and now they're looking for mid inhibitors before that Lord even reaches, which is perfect for the side of SRG. Look at this siege as they apply more and more pressure to the crystal.
Able to find those crits. Oh my lord, the damage! Can they clear it out? JAYPEE walks up in time, but they have a whole other wave to play with. GG as Sky spins around to zone TL.